What is up, everybody?
Hello.
Guys, if you are looking for the information session about Hope30, you are in the right spot.
That's right.
We're going to get started in just about a minute or two. One of the things that we do inside of Hope30 is we like to start on time. And by on time, we have our own time. We call it Hope30 time, and it means we always start on the O2. And it's so that everybody kind of getting in gets a chance. You know, people necessarily coming in late. Everybody's in and ready to go on the O2. So tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about maybe what you've tried before, to lose weight, to finally burn some of this stored energy. And we're going to talk about, kind of why those things maybe didn't work out great for you. And here's the cool part, the spoiler alert is it's not necessarily your fault.
Exactly.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about what makes Hope30 different and why this might be exactly the solution you're looking for.
Yeah, so we're so glad that you're here. We're so glad that you're watching on the replay. And we're just grateful that you want to learn more about Hope30, and we're excited to tell you about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it is. And so there's going to be a bunch of people seeing this on the replay.
Yes.
And some seeing it live. So I'm excited to get going. We're just
answer questions. So if you are here, you're coming in late, you can answer questions. You can email us the questions. We want to be with you on your journey every step of the way, and it begins right now.
Yes. All right. Well,
and it almost begins. It's 7:01. It's not 7:02 yet. So we'll give everybody a little bit more time.
Just about. Well, and it's 7:02, everybody. So it is time. We are going to talk a little bit about Hope30. And what I want you to know is if you have felt like you've done everything before, and maybe you've done keto and you counted carbs, and or you went low carb, or you feel like you've done everything and you're just like, I don't understand. I feel stuck. What?
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good call. So, well, one of the things that we want to do first, so if that is you, if you feel stuck and you feel like you're just like, I don't know what to do, then you're in the right place, because that's exactly what we're going to help you with in Hope30. And my name is Dr. Jim, and I am a natural functional medicine doctor. I've been in practice for 26 years. And at one point in my journey, I weighed 50 pounds more than I do right now, and I had become a type 2 diabetic. And basically, everything that I learned in helping flip my whole life around is exactly what we teach in Hope30. And not only is it exactly what we teach, but it is what we've taught over 4,000 other people who've done Hope30, basically how to lose weight, keep it off, and really make a metabolic health transformation.
And I'm Nicole Holland. I'm his wife. And your cheerleader. So we are the team that created Hope30. So yes.
And so that is what we're here to do, is we're going to talk about Hope30. Dr. Jim and Nicole, we are the founders of Hope30, and Hope30's been around about 5.5 years, but it all started with me and my personal journey, and then it started in my office. And in my office, I probably helped over 4,000 or 5,000 people in my office over about 10 years. And then when COVID hit, we were like, hey, no one's coming into the office. Maybe we should take this online. And that's ultimately where Hope30 came from. So if you have been out there and you feel like you've tried everything and maybe you feel stuck, then definitely if you have access to the comments, you can always put a 1 in the comments. But there's a number of things that we typically see when it comes to your weight loss journey. And one of the big ones is that you just feel like most people aren't out there just gaining weight.
Right.
The truth is that you've lost 8 and then you gain 10.
Yep.
And you lost 6 and you gain 7. And what you really feel like is that you're stuck.
Yeah.
And so I had a woman in my office, and we'll call her Sarah. And Sarah was, like super smart, super successful, super disciplined in all these areas of her life. She had done fasting, she had done keto, she'd done calorie counting, she had done low carb, and she'd done all these different programs. She could probably count macros better than
she was an expert.
Better than a trainer could. But she did all that, but she would lose 8 and gain 10. And lose 12 and gain 10, and just kept, and she just, not consistently going up, but just felt stuck. Like, what's going on? And the real heartbreaking part of it is that she just really felt like it was her fault.
Right.
And I
I
know,
know we absorb all that, the blame, the guilt, all of those negative emotions.
yes, and I think a lot of people can relate to that you just feel like I'm stuck. Clearly it's my fault. I can't seem to do all the right things. And what I told her is that it was basically the heartfelt conversation we had was about that it wasn't really her fault. Is the truth is that she was trying to follow a program that wasn't designed for her body. She was trying to follow a program that wasn't designed for where she was metabolically at the time. And so the simple way to think about it is you can't do a program um, in your body looking at somebody else who's like super fit and metabolically super healthy. Whatever they're doing is not going to work for us if our metabolism isn't where their metabolism is. And so most of us get to this point where our metabolism is broken down and it's not working well, but then there's like some person without their shirt on that has six-pack abs that's telling us how to eat, and we're like, I want to look like them.
Yeah.
And what you have to do is you have to follow a diet for your body, not for the body you want. And a lot of us get stuck trying to follow a diet for someone else's body when it's not really for ours. And that mismatch just leads to exhaustion.
And every day you're not that person, you feel terrible about not getting there.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. And the program doesn't work for you because metabolically you're just not in the same place. And then in addition to that, what we often see is just sort of the overall loneliness
Yeah.
that goes along with trying to lose weight on your own. Because let's face it, nobody really is there to cheer you on while you're losing it.
Right.
Most people don't even know you're trying.
Right.
They're just there when you regain, right? Everybody notices that, but there's not a whole bunch of people out there cheering for you when you're trying to be your best at dinner, and everyone's like, "Oh, come on, you should just do it. Oh, don't worry about that."
You have to say no a lot and turn, engagements down because you feel like you can't be there. You can't do something that's sustainable. You can't be social. And so you isolate. And it's depressing and lonely.
Yes. And so there's so many apps out there and there's so many books out there and there's a ton of information out there about how to lose weight. And so many people are like, "Oh, I'm just going to do this thing." And then the problem is then that's just you by yourself, kind of on the lone wolf trying to do it on your own. And it's really lonely. And if you don't have somebody to talk to or help you along the way, it can be very discouraging. Also, what do you do if, right? You're following this program that was written for someone else's body, and maybe something starts to happen, and then all of a sudden you hit a plateau. Well, what do you do when there's a plateau? Well, if you don't have anybody to talk to, you don't know what to do. Well, what happens if I get a headache or I get hungry? Or what happens if my weight bumps up or it's dropping too fast? Or like, what happens if I stall out? Or why would I not be hungry for 2 weeks and then all of a sudden I've gotten ravenously hungry, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in my body and what do I do to adjust to that? And the truth is that is a common problem that we see out there in the world is when you're just doing it on your own, it's lonely and you don't have any guide to sort of help you along the way. And that's really one of the things that we help do in Hope30. And we're going to tell you all about Hope30 in a second. But I just feel like these are the common things that I see out there that we want to solve.
Mm-hmm.
The third and probably one of the biggest ones is there really a lack of weight loss information in the world?
Say that next.
Right?
Yes.
Like there's so much weight loss information out there. It's so utterly confusing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you about we'll call him Mark. Now, Mark listened to podcasts, he's listening to influencers, and he's listening to he's reading books. And at the end of it, what he's left with is carbs are poison. Carbs are the best thing on the planet. No fat is how he should eat. tons of fat is how he should eat.
So true.
He should only eat animal products. He should never eat animal products. And the truth is this overabundance of information and just this, like, it is so confusing that you don't know who to listen to. And not only do you not know who to listen to at that point, but at some point it just leads to paralysis.
Yeah, because you try one thing for 2 weeks and it's not working, and then you're like, all right, well, then that's not it. I'll do that other thing. And then, well, that's going to work. And then I'll do that other thing. And so it's horribly, horribly confusing. And this thing right here isn't going to come and clear it up for you, not going to talk to you, not going to help you, not going to answer your questions. But yeah, it's horribly, horribly confusing. And I think that the world we live in, it's all that information is just paralysis and analysis.
Yes.
Right?
And so it just leaves you stuck and you don't feel like you know what to do, right? And that's probably the biggest problem with out there. And so if any of that feels like you at some point, you feel like you're stuck, you feel like you're alone. Sometimes you feel like you're confused, you don't really know where to go next. You don't know, maybe you hit a wall, maybe you're doing great, and then all of a sudden you hit a wall and you don't know where to go next. Maybe you feel like you've been following a diet program that was written for someone else's body and maybe not the metabolism that you have. And if that's the case, you're definitely in the right spot, because what we do in Hope 30 is a number of things to solve those problems.
Right.
So let's take the first one, right? Like a diet not for your body. Okay. Well, it turns out that metabolically we're all different, right? And so what works for one person doesn't work for everyone. But there are some real foundational things that we know that we must do if we want to burn body fat. And one of the main ones of those is we got to get our insulin levels to come down, because your body cannot burn fat in the presence of high levels of insulin. So you've got that, we have to follow an eating style that does that. Okay. And so once we're doing that, then and we have that basic structure, we have sort of an adaptive dynamic eating style in Hope 30, which means you're going to start eating this way. And then once you start, we're going to see how your body is responding. And because one blanket diet does not work for everyone, we will adapt it specifically to you and your situation to make sure that the little tweaks that we do to help make sure you get the most out of it. And that's one of the things that makes it different than just about anything out there, is that I'm not telling you that there's only one way to do something. What I'm telling you is here's the foundation. And then according to your body and your metabolism, we're going to tweak here and tweak here and tweak here to make sure that it's ideal for you. And so that now you can actually have an eating style or a diet that was for you.
Right.
And what makes this, I'll talk about what we're actually going to eat here in a second. But the other way that we make it specifically for you is we have a Hope 30 metabolic questionnaire test.
Right.
And this test helps identify any individual areas of your metabolism that may be not working at their best, and exactly sort of the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients your body needs to help support that area. Again, taking it another level deeper to making it individualized to you, so that we can be like, listen, I have problems with my gut health, so I'm working on my gut health while I'm eating this way. And this person's like, oh, well, I have problems with inflammation, so I'm working on my inflammation while I'm eating this way. And they tweak this and this because of these other things that I have going on. So we can make it very, very specific to each one of you, so that you are actually eating you're following a diet that was made for your body,
right?
Not a 25-year-old with six-pack abs who lifts weights 24 hours a day.
I think it's really important, the adaptive part. Okay. It's like he said, it's not the same, the diet itself is not just to you. The actual, all the days are catered to you. So if you get into it and it needs to be a little bit tweaked, you have access to be able to do that. So it is custom throughout the 30 days. And that's very, very special and very important. Henry said, I took the test and the gut was the biggest issue. There you go.
Henry, I promise.
It's Henny.
Henny. Sorry, Henny.
Yes,
Sorry, I was not drawing on that from memory. I just used that as an example, but
right.
there you go. And so I think making sure that a program is specific to you is really important. And
Yes.
like Nicole said, we adapt it and adjust it throughout the
As you
entire
go.
as you go. All
Yes.
right. And that makes a big difference. The second part of that is the we can get onto the loneliness, right? And
Right.
the doing it on your own. Well,
Right.
one of the amazingly cool things about Hope 30 is, first of all, let's say there's 100 people in your round of Hope 30.
Yes.
We're all gonna start day one on the same day.
Next Wednesday.
So you and a bunch of your friends, and you can say, hey, I want my mom to come, I want my uncle to come. You get all of them to join Hope 30 with you. But even if you don't have anyone else to do it with, there's going to be like 100 other people in there with you, and we're all starting on the same day,
Yep.
and so we're experiencing the process together all throughout. And what's amazing is not only do you get to be a part of the group, and we do 30 nightly Zooms
Just like
live.
this. Just like this.
So it's just like this, except the screen's full of, a lot of people. And so when you're sitting on that Zoom, you realize that you're part of a community and you're part of a whole bunch of people doing exactly what you're doing. And I think that that feels really good.
Mm.
It doesn't feel lonely.
Camaraderie.
It feels amazing to be a part of that together. But then also, so you're getting that accountability from
Mhm.
being a 30 nightly Zooms. You're getting that camaraderie that there's a whole bunch of other people doing it with you. And we actually have a private group inside of, it's a thing called the Circle app, where you get to go in there, and it's everybody from your Hope 30 group is in there, and people are sharing recipes, sharing successes for the day. And so everyone is communicating with each other as a collective of that round of Hope 30 together inside of there. So it's very hard. You have to try to feel alone when
Right.
you do a round of Hope 30, because it's not like doing it from an app or
Mm-mm.
from a book or
No.
some podcast you heard. You're literally interacting with the founders
Mm-hmm.
every day
Yep.
through the 30 nightly Zooms. You have a full community. You have a you have a
Yes,
food
that's what I was
coach.
gonna say. In that app, you can ask questions all day long. You'd be at the grocery store and have a product, and you're like, is this okay? Is this something good? Here's a menu. I'm going out to lunch with my friends. I'm going to dinner with my family, and this is where we're going. And our food coach you can send it in, and she'll say, eat this, don't eat this. You got it, And so our goal, our mission, because we came out of a time when the world was locked down and all we wanted was community. So we don't want food or you trying to be your very best to hold you back from being social. So it's really important to us that you can do Hope 30 anywhere. The airport, travel, you're like, I'm going on vacation. What do I do? Because people will always put off doing a weight loss program because they've got a vacation or we've got 5 weddings this month or something like that. And what we say is do it now and we will help you enjoy, not just get through, enjoy all the events of life because life happens and the good, the bad, all the in between. And we're together for 30 days and your access during the day. I mean, when all day can you give someone a label and say, is this good? Should I be eating this? And then we come together at night if you're able. And if you're not able, then we send you the replay. Everybody gets it that some people have done amazing because they work at night or they just can't because they're putting their children to bed and they listen the next morning. But what's so amazing is that it's science every night about what's going on with your body and it tracks with your body. So you get not only the chance to ask questions, just like you're commenting right now, Henny, it's exactly like this every night. And that's really cool because if you have a question, everyone else probably has that same question. So that's what we're here for. So it's about 15 minutes of science and what's going on to give you like confirmation of how to do this, right? And then we answer questions and it is community. So it's very special. And we are, when we started this, we did not know the need for community. And I really feel like this is one of the things that makes Hope 30 really different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the three big things that we often see is number one, you get stuck because you've been trying to do a program that was meant for someone else's body and not yours. So we made Hope 30 very sort of adaptive and specific to each person, both through the diet, through the testing, and adjusting as we go throughout the process. The second part is a lot of people feel really alone on their journey, and the truth is what we did was is we created community, we created accountability. We have daily coaching, we have everything interconnected so that you can be a part of something bigger than just your weight loss journey, but your community with everyone else, and it feels good to be part of community. And then the third part of that was like Mark. A lot of people have gotten so much information from so many different places that you're just confused.
Right.
You're like, I don't know who to listen to
Yeah.
because half of them all say doctor after their name and they're all contradicting each other. So who in the heck should I listen to? And then you can go on anything social media and it's just one person after another telling you what to do. And then then there's usually like something
A
else,
bottle of this
a
or
bottle of this.
a
Yes.
bottle.
So the cool thing about Hope 30 is we provide structure. All right. We've taken out like what I've done is because I've listened to every one of those podcasts.
Yeah.
I've read every one of those books. I know every single part of it. And what you find out is what makes a program great is not what makes it different than all the rest. Okay? Because that's what they're all selling to you, right? Every program is selling you what makes them different, that their unique difference. What makes the programs awesome is where they all overlap, because it is in that overlap is what makes them actually work. All right.
Right.
So what we did is we took the best of every kind of thing that's out there and we just stacked them on top of each other. Right. And we provide significant structure. Like you don't have to think, you don't have to be like, am I doing it right or am I doing it wrong? It is so simple what we're going to ask you to do that it makes it very, very easy to follow. So why is Hope 30 so successful for people? It's those first two reasons. It's specific to you, and we provide this amazing community accountability. But but then the last part of that is that ultimately we make what we're going to ask you to do very structured and very, very simple. Okay. So when I say it's very, very simple, this is how simple it is. All right. If you would like, if you're trying to follow Hope 30, it's really, really simple. If you can eat a meat, a vegetable, and a fruit for lunch and for dinner for 30 days, you can do Hope 30. And you might be, but what meats and what fruits and what? Don't worry. Inside of Hope 30, we actually give you the sheets. Here's all your protein choices. Here's all your vegetable choices. Here's all your fruit choices. And all you have to do at lunch and dinner is pick one of each. It's that simple.
It's the granimals of food.
Right. And so with that level of structure and that level of simplicity, it makes it very, very easy to follow it. Now, you do that, you take your metabolic health test. Henny has already done it, which is awesome.
Yep.
And then it says, hey, gut health is your problem. Well, these are the things that you would take to try to help support gut health. And then we go, okay, now when we pair this eating style and that, and we start working on the process, and then every single night we meet for 30 nights on Zoom. And I'm going to tell you what you might have felt on day one, why, and what are some things, some healthy hacks you can do about it. Day two, day three, why might the scale stay the same? Why might it bump up? Why is it dropping so fast? Like you're going to get the explanation every single day of what's going on, why it's going on, and exactly what to do about it. You also have my direct email. So if at any point you're like, oh wait, I have a very specific health question about me, you just email it to me and I'm going to respond back, and that's oftentimes how we will adjust and fix it. But I'm not kidding when it's this simple.
Yeah.
If you can eat a meat, a vegetable, and a fruit for lunch and for dinner for 30 days, and then you can do Hope 30.
Hmm.
Now, what are the average results that people typically see? Well,
Hmm.
we have done over 4,000 people.
Right.
And when you add it all up and subtract by all the people, it comes out to be 14.9 pounds in 30 days.
Of fat. Right.
14.9 pounds. I don't know.
Yes.
It maybe not all fat, I don't know, but a lot of it is because this is not a weight loss program. And I think what Nicole's point is that people aren't just losing
Drop in water fast.
yeah, just it's not just a bunch of water, and we're not trying to like just we're not just losing muscle either, right?
Right.
As we do on a lot of programs. We are tapping into our body fat and burning our body fat as a fuel source, and that's kind of what changes everything. So we think that Hope 30 is really awesome. We love, I mean, all of the we've had so many people do it that have had great success, and we would love everybody that got on tonight to find out more about Hope 30,
Hmm.
that if you wanted to sign up, this is how it would go. We have a website, and
Hmm.
actually
Many of you might have been there, but it's hope30.com. And when you go there and once you sign up, we have someone that will onboard you, have a phone call with you. We want to make sure that all your questions are answered. And our deadline is Friday, okay, for this next round. And then we will have a Zoom Sunday night, our very first Zoom, and everybody will get together and we'll have an orientation. And so we want to make sure that everybody is all ready to go, set up, and we have 3 days where we get ready and we Zoom every single night, answer all your questions, and then everybody starts together on day one, which will be next Wednesday. And truly, when Jim said that people get their family and friends, it's a great way to do it with people all across the country. We have aunts and uncles and cousins and best friends from college, and do it with me. So not only do you have the accountability of all of us, but you also have your own little text group too, which is really fun. So
yes.
that has been a real connector for families.
Yes.
Hmm.
So if you've been considering trying, like maybe you've tried to do it on your own, maybe you've been out there kind of pushing and pushing, and you're like, man, it sure would be nice to have somebody help guide me. It sure would be nice to do it with a group. I sure would like something a little more specific to me. I would like some structure and simplicity to cut out all my decision making and the decision fatigue I have about what to eat, when to eat. And I'd really like to finally make the decision to really do something and make this year be the best year.
Hmm.
Whether I've been super successful in some weight loss before and I just hit a wall and I don't know necessarily how to go forward,
Right.
or if you've lost and gained the same 10 pounds 100 times, or maybe you just hit rock bottom and you're just like, this, I got to do something. Well, I think we would certainly love to have you in Hope 30.
And if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat right now. This is what these are for. If you're watching this on the replay, you can email us. You can reply to the email that you got with this. We are here to answer the questions starting now. We want to be on your journey with you every step of the way. You are not alone. That's why we named it Hope 30, because we want people to have hope in weight loss. And we know that that's not always the case. So that's what we're here for.
Yes. So I'm gonna just open it up real quick. We'll give about a minute. If anybody has any questions and that you wanted to put down in the chat, feel free to ask, or you can unmute yourself and just ask it out loud. You can do that too. Not a big meat eater. Some chicken. Can we eat beans and other types of protein?
Great question.
Henry, that's a great
Henny.
Henny. Sorry, I keep saying that wrong. So certainly chicken, seafood, eggs, uh, cottage cheese, like these are all on
No
there.
worries.
Typically beans are not one of our choices initially, simply because again of the carb count that goes there, because ultimately what we want to do is we want to get our insulin levels to come down more so we can make sure that the weight loss we're doing is really tapping into our body fat. But I think if you
It's a great question.
yeah, and certainly I've had plenty of people that aren't like, I mean, huge meat eaters, So the key there is you just find a couple
Do you
like
like seafood? Will you eat some seafood? That's always an option too.
yeah, lots of you can eat
Eggs are great.
eggs are great,
Yeah,
seafood.
yep.
You know,
And it's a 30-day program, so foods come back. It's just
yeah, beans come back,
beans
everyone.
come back.
Yeah, we don't believe that any foods that we
Beans.
don't believe that any food's an evil food.
No.
We just believe that sometimes if you want to make the change that you want to that you again, beans might are great maybe for a different metabolic situation.
Right, when we get there.
When we get there, beans are great. But right now we may need to like let them go for a little bit of time. But that's kind of how we do it. So
And that's the cool thing too. You're going to learn all what that means and why and how your body works and how we're going to get you there, right? So that
yes,
you can have beans and all the things that you enjoy. That's the goal.
yes.
So,
So thank you, Henny, for the
thanks.
question. Do you introduce exercise later to figure out the food is working first? That's a
Yeah,
great
great
question.
question.
Henny, yes. So typically, we during Hope 30, it's not an exercise first
Henny
program.
was on some of your lives.
I know. So, and the reason I say that is the biggest lever you can move for weight loss and for fat loss is ultimately the food.
Right.
And really working on healing your metabolism. Now, as you start to do that, then later on, there's very specific styles of exercise that tend to be the best for sort of muscle building, fat burning. And most of us have been taught wrong. Most of us have been told, eat less, do more cardio, and that's the key. And the truth is, it's not really ideal. But yes, we will often introduce exercise later as a way to be like, okay, now going forward, I would start doing this, and this will help you kind of move in the right direction. But we definitely want to make sure we get from sugar burner to fat burner first,
Right.
and then we want to make sure that your metabolism's healing and the exercise isn't going to derail you. That's one of the unique things people never think about is that sometimes people's exercise is actually what's holding them back. It's
It's
keeping
so contrary to what you think.
it's keeping them stuck because it's keeping their body stressed out, and
Yeah.
the cortisol is making them hold on to body fat. And so that's why we like to sometimes just tap the brakes a little bit, give the body a little rest, get the food right, get our metabolisms to shift from sugar burning to fat burning. And then once they do that, and we get our metabolism healing up, then we can talk about
And that's the
the
layering
exercise.
in too. That's like you said, the layering in. And
Yes.
that's definitely a layer.
Yes.
It comes later.
Yes. So thank you, Henny. That's a really good
Thank you
question.
for all the
Yes.
questions. Oh, you're welcome.
Of
Thank you for
course.
coming.
Yes. All right, everybody.
Okay.
So if that's all the questions, thank you for the questions. And thank you guys for watching on the replay. Remember, you can email back to the
Yes.
email that sent you the replay if you have any questions. If not, if you want to sign up for Hope 30, you just go literally to hope30.com, put in your name and email. It'll take you to the next page. On the next page, it'll say like, sign me up.
Yep.
You click on that. You pay the 197 and you are in.
And we'll take care of the rest.
And we'll take care of the rest. And we will see you on Sunday evening for the very first Zoom of the next round of Hope 30. All right, guys. So just like I tell my son every day before he goes to school, be your very best today. Hashtag never quit. I believe that God wants the very, very best for you. And the day you believe that, change your life forever. Have an awesome, awesome night.
Goodbye, you guys. Hope to see you soon.